All right. Hey, everybody. We are back. All right. I'm Rob Nelson. This is The Activist. I got Ryan Ochoa and Gino up above him, Gino Seegers. Listen, you guys, if you tuned into the first version of this, we're calling it Night of the Living Tech Problems because all our tech went crazy. And I'm just going to blame it on the coronavirus. I think it just infected the technology. So there was a feedback loop in Gino's computer. Then Ryan's audio got messed up, even though it worked earlier. And me, I just have tech problems even before the virus. So if you were part of the chaos, thanks for bearing with us. You kind of were a little transparent, right? You got to see me getting a little like annoyed and worked up and like talking in circles. I learned a lesson from this, guys. And the lesson I learned is, Yvonne, producer from Lookout Entertainment, producing this show, was just like, Rob, just chill. Just chill. She stayed very calm. So my lesson is, even when you're live and on the air and everything goes wrong, don't get annoyed. Just like let it be, because there's bigger issues to worry about in life. We got a new link. We posted it up and we're out there. So welcome to the show, you guys.
Thanks a ton.
Thank you.
Let me start. So, everybody who's watching who doesn't know, let me introduce my guests a little further. Ryan, in the bottom of the screen there, is a well-known former Disney star. It's right, fair to call you former Disney, right?
Yeah, but that works for me.
Right? So a lot of younger people and millennials might remember, but millennials you might remember from iCarly, and obviously the big role, Pair of Kings, where you kind of became a teen heartthrob, and now is a really talented, inspirational actor and a musician. Has a new album coming out with his brothers, which we'll talk about.
It is
the boy band, right?
Yeah. Well, the album is out actually.
Oh, it's already out. I haven't heard it.
It came out in
January, and it's called It's called RT.
R-Type.
Yeah.
R-Type is the name of the album.
Right. Okay. Lean in a little closer to that camera so we can hear you. We're just going to be close on your face. And Gino and Ryan know each other because Gino was in Pair of Kings too. You weren't like his dad, right?
No.
But
no, we were as close.
I'm not saying you're that old, Gino. I'm just saying.
No, we weren't mortal enemies, but Mason had a bit of a disdain for Lanny.
Okay. And obviously I didn't watch Pair of Kings. I'm not a Disney, Disney, whatever. It's not my time. I missed that. But I want to say, before we get into this, and, this is a fun sort of like live stream to kind of connect with people on all different levels. And I think right now, a lot of what people are dealing with is figuring out relationships. Like in life in general, right? We always are, but I feel like this whole virus thing has made everybody think about relationships differently. Gino, I met both of you just this week. Gino, when you were talking to me about your relationship to Ryan, you said something that fascinated me. So I don't know if Ryan knows the story, Ryan, but man, you got under Gino's skin. Like, what was the deal with Ryan, Gino?
Well, I come from a sporting background, and so I'm very competitive when it comes to putting in the work. So when I saw this little kid coming in after getting the script Thursday night, coming in Friday morning completely off book, I said, okay, I'm not gonna let this kid outdo me. So he inspired me to work harder and to be more prepared. I mean, I was always a prepared kind of person, but when I saw how prepared he was, I really had to.
So Ryan, how old were you?
We shot the pilot when I was 12 years old, and then we started working on the series when I was 13. Yeah. So
you're 12, 13 years old, and you're in there like twice as prepared as everybody else.
Yeah.
Gino, a lot of the producers, they basically said I was just a big grown-up.
That's awesome. But that ethic's incredible. That's cool. And Ryan, what's your relationship to Gino now? Like, is he like a mentor? Like what's his role? Big brother?
It's funny that you ask, because I feel like Gino's relationship with me changes depending on what I'm asking him. He could be the second dad to me. He could be the best friend, which I feel like he's more of the best friend mainly. And he could be like another brother to me and my brothers. he definitely knows how to play a character when it comes to, you know, my family. But mainly, he's hands down one of my best friends, and it's crazy because, you know, him and my dad, you know, are the same age, and so considering him and my dad could be, you know, they are very close, but him and my dad are friends. They could be best friends. The fact that I'm so close with Gino is just really, honestly, it's really cool how our relationship has grown just from, me being a little boy, a teenager on set 9 years ago, and how our relationship has only gotten stronger over the years.
So let me ask you guys something. So Ryan, so Gino, you just had your age outed by Ryan, but so we're a little older than you, Ryan. But if you could, Ryan, if you could look back and sort of look at your father or Gino or my generations, like I'm Gen X, you know, we're like before the millennials. Look at what we had when we were growing up, like in the 90s, whatever, you know, like when you were getting born. What do you think your generation missed out on that you'll never have that we had? And then the other side is like, what did we miss out on that you guys have other than the coronavirus? Like if you look back, what do you kind of look back and go, wow, would have been kind of cool to have had that? Are you frozen in time? Ryan, look frozen.
Oh man, it's the coronavirus, man.
All right, we'll wait for Ryan to come back in. His feed is frozen. It's more tech, Night of the Living Tech. Gino,
Yeah.
what do you feel? What do you feel Ryan and his generation have that we will never have, other than like the bad stuff? Because we know there's a lot of bad things. Like people talk about, like this generation, the youngest generation's growing up with like the most problems ever. What do you think they have that if you go, man, I would have liked to have had that?
You know, it's going to sound strange, but I had real live bullies, like flesh and blood bullies, like people that would, you know, pick on me when I got on the bus.
Right.
And they would pick on me when I was in gym class.
Right.
You know, and I'm truly not afraid of anyone online. That to me is not a real bully. So they have, what they have is this ability to just internalize everything they read online, which I don't know if is a good thing, but they tend to be more connected to their feelings somehow. But someone will say something to me online and I'll almost laugh, thinking to myself, man, those must be some really big internet muscles you got.
Right.
You're talking
right. So
real tough.
It's the cyberbullying. Hey, Ryan, are you back with us? Ryan, are you back from the dead? Can you hear me? Ryan?
Can you guys see me?
Yeah, we can see you. Can you hear us? There he is.
I just plugged in. I don't know if it's...
Sorry, you're there. We got your face. So, Ryan...
You guys see?
Yeah, we see you. Did you hear us? We're going to keep talking, Gino.
Yeah.
Ryan, just jump in when you can hear us. We got his face underneath. You can hear us? So, Ryan, what do you think about that? Like, you know, Gino was saying how, like, the thing that he feels is different is, like, you guys are really sensitive. Like, he was bullied by real people. Like, and me too. Like, I remember the kid who, like, bullied me in the bus line. You guys get bullied online, and everybody, you know, people get really upset about cyberbullying and the bullying. And Gino was sort of saying, like, hey, you know, it doesn't really bother him when somebody bullies him online. It's so far removed. Like, it's an interesting thing. Like, the physical presence is different. You guys have a much more viral connection to each other in the world. Like, you know, you have 500,000 followers on Instagram. Like, when I was a teenager, nobody had 500,000 anything unless you were, like, on television. You there, Ryan?
I heard a little bit of it. I heard a bit. It keeps like catching up, so I apologize if I look like a robot staring at you guys.
That's all right. Just lean into your phone
But
and
I
talk.
can see you guys really well, and I can hear. I kind of understand the question, but I don't want to answer it.
So lean really close into your phone and talk to us.
Oh my gosh.
It is
No,
the
I'm just
night of
trying
the
to hear
tech.
you guys.
It's Corona, man. Let's just
It's
blame
the
it on Corona.
coronavirus. Ryan, are you on a Wi-Fi?
You guys know what's wrong with the sound.
Are you on Wi-Fi, Ryan? It's too funny. We're just gonna have to talk about Ryan, Gino.
But like I said,
Yeah.
you know, they're really sensitive when it comes to this online thing,
Yeah,
and to
of
me,
course.
it's just like completely. I'm just sort of unfazed by some of the things that these people say. But then the times that I have reacted to it and said, "Hey, man, you know, that's really not cool. You should, you know, really talk to someone about getting some help with your anger management or something like that." I don't know, man. Maybe there's a counselor in your town or something like that. Maybe you can talk to them. And then what I'll find is by doing that, my followers will chime in and start like attacking him. And
Right.
I'm perpetuating this online bullying thing. And
Gino,
I'm like,
but Gino, what do you think we're missing? What do you think we missed out on that they get?
I don't know. I think we missed out on, but I don't see it as us missing out. But this whole instant sort of, you could get something instant that you couldn't get instantly when I was growing up.
See, I think what we missed out on is there's an authenticity underneath. There's a lot of fake in social media, you know, and all of like,
Absolutely.
you know, Ryan's followers, you all know this. There's a lot of fake. There's a lot of people posting, pretending, faking it. You know, a lot of you out there know this. Like, you know, it's the joke about everybody posts their world's best life on Instagram when nobody's having the best life. But at the same time, I feel like all you guys who are listening, who are younger, you have a way of communicating that's much more authentic, much more direct. And there's a kind of a connection. There's a willingness to be yourself, to be honest, to just be you. And we didn't have that. We lived in a much more, everything was a little fake. And I love one of the things I love about the era we live in is just how authentic people can actually be.
Yeah, I'll buy that. But I mean, and another thing, a connection to the world. I mean, like they could be talking to someone in, you know, Budapest,
right?
You know, one day, and then be chatting with someone in Brazil the next.
Right.
I mean, that kind
or
of
even
thing
like
is so far, yeah, like this. You know,
we can do this. You know,
yeah, this type of thing is going to be like
people listening.
Yeah, nothing. It's going to be nothing. This would be nothing to them.
Well, two of us talking and Ryan posing in the bottom.
Yeah, he looks like he's moving around.
I don't know if he can hear us. But, you know, Ryan, you are a total poser down there, right? Just got your face in there, looking around, saying nothing, kind of, you know, I mean, totally like photobombing our Instagram, our live feed, you know, and that's fine. You can photobomb it. That's cool. We can take it. We're immune to cyberbullying, you know, Ryan. We're above it. I have no idea if he's hearing us. Ryan, not you gotta hear us.
It's still. Can you guys hear me? Can you? Guys
yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
We've been talking about you the whole time. Can you hear us?
Because
Go ahead, Ryan. What?
Well, I'm actually hear you guys. I moved close. I'm close Wi-Fi. I can hear you guys a little bit better, but Rob, you still glitch a lot when you're talking for me. So I hope let's just try to make this.
So Ryan, what do you think? What do you think that your generation missed out on by being born when you were born? It's a long time.
So to this, I hope you guys could hear my answer.
We can hear you.
Yeah, it's just a really long delay for me.
That's all right. You know what, Ryan? Back when we were kids, that's what we had, long delays.
Just so. I love how you could hear it after. Okay, well, I'm gonna answer it. Hopefully, I don't want to be interrupting because I don't know if I'm talking over somebody asking something. But if you can hear me clearly, I feel like. So okay, he's thumbs up. Okay, it's just a super long delay. Anyway, our generation. I feel like the music, me being an artist with my brothers, I feel like the music was, not saying better. I just enjoy 80s music and 90s music. I mean, even for a lot of my friends and my brother's friends are all millennials. Even from, my brother was born in 2001, so he was before 2000 era, and before the 90s, the 80s music. I mean, Michael Jackson and Prince. The music was just really, really solid, and if you think about it, still to this day, that's what people are listening to, and that's why I like what The Weeknd is doing, because The Weeknd is a big fan of Prince, and he's kind of bringing that music back. So even for me being an artist and just knowing the history that music really started, and for my parents, what my parents were listening to while they were growing up.
So
one of my favorite artists is Stevie B. Stevie B, I mean, nobody ever imagined that. So like that, I just like the music.
So Ryan, I'm gonna hold my hand up when I want to talk to Ryan. Ryan, so we're hearing you fine, by the way. And everyone watching, I'm Rob Nelson. Ryan Ochoa and Gino Seegers are with me. Ryan's actually streaming from the moon, which is why we have a slight delay. He's in a space like a space station on the moon. So that's just a tech delay that comes in. But Ryan, I know so many people your age who think they're so into 80s music. It fascinates me. Like, I lived in the 80s. I'm not into 80s music. He's gone. You know what I mean, Gino? I'm so,
dude.
There's a nostalgia about the 80s and the 80s, like especially the 80s. Everyone's so into the 80s, even like that make movies that all go just back into that. Ready Player One. The Spielberg movie about the video. The 80s, and I was like, the 80s weren't that great.
Nah, they were pretty good for music, and especially the 70s, music, 80s, they were good. 90s. The music was very embellished, and the compositions, the arrangement, it was a musical sort of backing, and then you had the sort of explosion of hip hop, sort of like really starting to lock in. Right. And then you had the hip hop R&B starting to happen. And then remember, now you still had like sort of like pop music, which was still kind of big.
Okay,
big.
So what's your favorite 80s? You're right. And in fairness to the 80s, I didn't love the 80s as much as that nostalgia loves them. I like the 90s and the 2000s, but I get it. And I hear that.
Come on, man, Hall and Oates.
Okay, Hall and Oates. All right. What's a Hall and Oates song? Give me a Hall and Oates song.
Man, there's hundreds of them, dude.
Sing one. Sing the first line of one.
Come on, man. I'm not gonna sing for you now, man.
Come on.
Oh man. Come on, man.
If you were a millennial, you'd be booting it out.
Yeah, but I'm not a millennial.
Okay, fine. Tell me, I can't sing one because I don't know exactly which songs are Hall and Oates.
There's so many though.
Okay. Is Stevie Nicks, is that 70s or 80s?
I would say that's 80s, early 80s. Stevie Nicks, man.
So Fleetwood Mac. See, Fleetwood Mac. No, I can't stand it.
No, come on, man. That was good music, man.
No, it just makes me feel like it's all like put a gun to your head music. I know that sounds crazy, but it has that sound. But maybe I should have been born in the millennial generation. So if you're watching and you're a millennial, what do you think about the 80s music? What do you think about the 80s? The 80s, like, is it, are you for the 80s? Would you rather be, the 2000s?
But then there was Prince. There was Michael Jackson.
Prince was good.
Michael Jackson. And if you want to go
hey,
more rural folk,
we're getting a lot of people literally saying, sing, please sing, please sing. You have to sing part of a Hall & Oates song. You got to sing one line of a Hall & Oates song.
All
you got fans. Everybody wants it. One line. Come on.
You're out of touch, going out of my head when you're not around.
That song. I like that song.
Yeah. That's a good song, right?
That's a good song. Yeah, you got a good voice, man. Too. Ryan is missing out. Because Ryan is the singer here. His band, we are promoting his band without him here. The Ochoa Brothers music, right?
Yeah, he gave me the whole list of songs to listen to, and I listened to them on the way back from his house one day, and I was like, from the moment they first started to now is like moonbeams. Those guys, they really put the work in, and they really you can hear the maturation in their voices. You can hear the maturation in the production, the sound. The music is kind of fire, man. I'm an old dude, and I was grooving to it. So,
right. So and everybody watching, we're streaming. One of our, I have my two guests. One is Ryan Ochoa. We had tech problems with him. He bounces in and bounces out, and he comes back in, and he's on a delay. But for those who just tuning in or whatever, and if you're watching on a YouTube stream on Ryan's IG, he's here. He just comes and goes. He's being a prima donna, whatever. No, he comes and he's coming back in 5. Okay.
Yeah, he'll be back in 5.
My producer just said he's coming back in 5. So those waiting for Ryan, he's just doing that thing that, the young celeb, he's waiting his time and he's going to show up when he's ready. And that's fine. Gino, he's competitive work ethic here, but let's talk about Ryan in his absence, because a lot of his viewers are watching, and his generation, I feel like that generation is facing a world that's really, really different. I mean, the coronavirus is the last step in all this, but it's already been a whole, I look and I think, wow, things were a lot simpler. And I know people always say that, the parents say it's simpler when I was a kid, but things really were simpler. There's no question. I didn't go to school and worry someone was going to come in with assault weapon and start firing. It just wasn't in my mind,
That was the furthest thing from my mind as a kid too, man. But
I worried someone to come in and beat me up.
Yeah, we forget about how many times that's actually happened because it happens so often.
Yep. I'm adjusting the light. Since we're doing everything here, on the fly, my studio went dark because we got so late. So now I have a halo on my face on this side, whatever, for the fans, for my IG fans. So Gino, if let's talk to two audiences. Let's talk to the younger audience until Ryan gets back, and the older audience, because we're like the wise men here. If we were to say one thing that you learned from this that's happening right now, when this all gets a little bit back to normal, whatever the new normal is, and I want everybody out there to think about this. What's one thing you would like to do differently in your life that you weren't doing before? And don't say nothing, because everybody's got to have something this has made them think about a little bit. I don't care how little it is. I'll give mine first. Mine is I should FaceTime more with my nieces and nephews. I have little nieces and nephews, and sometimes it's hard to talk to a 7. I love them to death, but I mean, talking on the phone for 7-year-olds is not a easy thing to do. But I don't care. I just sit on the FaceTime with them and make faces. And I should reach out to people more from my past. I let people float away, and during this little time, I decided to send texts and emails to people I haven't talked to in years. And I feel like that's mine. I should connect more with people. Not, that's mine. What's yours?
I think that this time being quarantined has taught me exactly what I can do without.
Okay.
I live in Los Angeles, and in LA, people go out to eat daily. I mean, I was going out to eat sometimes twice a day, but I really don't need to do that. You know what I mean? I mean, and not only do I not need to do it, I've actually enjoyed eating at home. And so I think that when you look at the amount of resource or money or cash that is going to eating out 8 to 10 times a week, I mean, that's a lot. You know, I can do a lot of good with that as opposed to just eating.
Okay.
And not only that, I can enjoy myself.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to take that, but I want one more. I mean, okay, not going out to eat's good, but I want one that would like make a difference, like in the world for your life, like something that would like change dramatically the quality of the world around you. Maybe it's just in your life, maybe it's quality around you, but like if everybody else did it, maybe we'd be happier as a society.
I would say using my time more productively, because I don't know what your time is worth, but my time is very valuable, and I know that time is extremely valuable. So I think that, all right. Are you on a computer now?
I'm on a computer, baby.
Hey, Ryan.
There you go.
There you go. Ryan Ochoa. Boom. Ryan Ochoa, do you decide to join our live stream? Thank you, man.
I decided I'm only an hour late. These people said, Ryan Ochoa said 7 p.m. on Instagram, and it's 8 o'clock, and he's just joining in.
Hey, Ryan, you know what? You missed us talking about you, but you missed Gino singing Hall & Oates.
Well, it looks like we're about to get an encore because Ryan's here now.
So Ryan, I want you. So he really did sing Hall & Oates after a lot of pressure. So you've got your album out, the Ochoa Brothers, and he was saying great things about it. Gino was saying great things about it. But since we're kind of like all show and tell, what's not your own song? What's one of your favorite songs from the 80s? You were saying how much you love the 80s music. What's one of your favorite bands or song?
Okay, real quick before I just answer the question.
Yeah.
Earlier, when I was explaining songs, did you guys hear me like you're hearing me now? Or was it glitchy?
Glitchy, but we could hear you.
Because like right now, and I wanted to tell you this, Rob, when you told me the other day to do it not to do it on a computer, to do it on a phone, I said, of course I'll do it on a phone. It seems like computer's the answer to this. So
it probably,
there you go.
Yeah. I'm on a
computer is the answer.
I'm on a computer.
I mean, this is clean now. Like I hear you guys like it's real time now.
That's all right. Look, we had to make people wait, build up. This is live. It's interactive, right? This is an experience. Anybody watching, this isn't like super clean. You know, this is a natural experience. You know, you went to the moon for a while. Gino had audio feedback. I like got all upset. Like it's all real.
It is all real. But okay, let's answer your question now.
80s. You're all into the 80s. I didn't like the 80s music. That's what you missed. Gino sang Hall & Oates to show me how good it was. The audience loved. We got people like sing. So what is a band and a song from the 80s that you think is like the best for you, that you love?
Well, Michael Jackson's the best, no matter what anybody said. Michael's the best. So, you know, for me and my brothers, a big inspiration that we had with our album was knowing that Michael Jackson had albums out that every single song were in the top 10. They were all hits. And, you know, not to knock anybody, but there's albums that come out where you only buy the record because of one or two songs, right?
Right.
You have to, Michael had like that Thriller album, every song, but Be You, and even those one or two were still great songs, you know? So I say him, but Stevie B, I told you earlier, I don't know if you guys heard that part. Stevie B, I love Stevie B music. It's poppy, but you could still dance to it. I love I Want to Be the One, Spring Love. I mean,
hold on. So this is, again, I'm culturally like in the dark. Who is this? I know I should know, but who is it?
Stevie B?
Yeah.
Gino, you know Stevie B?
No.
No?
No.
All right, sing part of a song, Ryan.
Hold on. I got it right here. Here we go. This is my favorite Stevie B song. That's him.
Okay.
This is off the In My Eyes album. In My Eyes, powerful. Here we go. My mom and dad almost went to a concert. They go to a lot of like, just listen and I'll tell you after.
Does Stevie B sing?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like all love music, but you still.
Yeah. I may have heard a CDB song, but I don't remember CDB.
No, Gino, no, don't suddenly try to be like hip,
No.
whatever.
I may have heard because it sounds really familiar. It sounds like the skating ring to me because we used to go
Spring
skating.
love.
Yeah, we used to go skating to music.
How did
like
that go? Wait,
you know?
Ryan, I want to make everybody sing. How does it go? The Spring Love, do it.
Hold on. Spring love, come back to me. That song.
I don't know. Keep going.
I can't sing that high.
Change the octave, man.
Gino was pretty good. Listen, I can sing if you guys want. Whatever.
No, let's save that for the encore.
That's right. Thank you. Good call. So, Ryan, what do you think that you missed out on? That's what we were talking about. You people in your generation, what's something you missed out on? You said music, the cultural thing. Mm-hmm. Like, is there something social that you kind of go, I wish we weren't so, like I was saying, I think we missed out on having such like an organic, authentic connection. People just are themselves and communicate so fast and so instantly. It was a lot more boxed in, right? Like, so on both ends, like what's something you kind of think, God, we're lucky we have, and something like I wish we didn't have to have. Obviously, school shootings would be a classic example. Like, who wishes they went to school and worried about getting shot? But like,
of course, yeah.
Well,
it's funny because I did a film where we talk about, there's a lot of themes in the movie, I guess you could take away, but a lot of it is relationships with your grandparents. And the truth is, I mean, asking somebody my age, it's kind of a tough question because technology, I've grown up with it. Me and especially my sister. Me and my brothers, technology is our life. I mean, technology has helped our business. I get to go on a computer and edit clips and, me and my brothers in front of the camera, and I get to edit stuff like that and share with the world of what I'm doing. Technology is advanced and helped so many people. So I won't say that's a negative part about it, but there is where I go to my grandma's house. She's 92 years old. She's my great grandma, and hearing stories about life, during her time, and we're talking the 30s, it's like for someone like me, it's a whole new world, you know? It was a whole new world. She's like, there was no phones. I mean, even my parents, they say, I mean, Rob, I'm sure, I don't think there were, I don't think you had phones when you were 5, 10, my little sister.
I'm
just saying, like,
100?
No, I didn't say that. You told me this when we talked the other day. I'm just using your words against you.
Wait. We had phones, Ryan. We had phones. We had phones.
Yeah, through the cup. You had to talk through the cup.
We didn't have phones. We had phones. Yeah, I admit they had a plug, and you had to like hold in your ear and dial the thing.
What is that? What do you mean?
It's a landline. It's called a landline.
Man, yes. I was born in the 20s. No, I get it. But that's interesting that you even say that, because I think a lot of people do. It's almost like, right, we did have phones, obviously. You had to sit in a room, and we get these long phone cords so that you could take the phone way far away from your parents, right? Like it's all plugged into the wall. So you take the phone and walk 3 rooms over with the phone so no one could hear you, and you could only call someone on a landline, obviously, right? So you couldn't, if you weren't home or in an office, there was no talking. When I was a little kid, right? I mean, but and even as a young teenager, I mean, that, but the earliest cell phones didn't come out till the late 80s. Yeah. But you're right that we were far more the technology thing. Ryan, I looked at your post for the promoting this show on IG, and then I looked at my post for promoting this show.
You're like, Ryan promoted this better than me.
Yeah, way better. 1/4 of the time, way better. Like, and I'm like, damn, that's just in your blood. Like, it's just a natural instinct. You grew up with it.
Well, I appreciate that. But like I'm also, not going to talk myself up, but I mean, I live for this stuff. I live to sit with my best friend Gino and have a chat and like we talked about, like you told me this the other day, this is just us talking about the new norm we're living in. It's a new way that we're engaging, and it's all about relationships, because at the end of the day, everyone says this. When we all come out on the other side of this, it's the relationships that we carried through, which is what I'm utilizing this time to reconnect with old people and old friends that I grew up with. Right before I talked to you, I was talking to my friend that I haven't seen in probably since December. We talked for an hour, and I said, all right, I got to go. I got to get ready for my podcast. But no matter what, these 2 months that we've been in here, if we weren't in this social distancing, I probably would have never talked to him.
Yep. It's so funny, right, Gino? It's so funny you say that, Ryan. While you were gone, switching devices, I said the same thing. I said the thing that I most learned from this is the fact that I found myself reconnecting to people from the past and whatever, just reaching out. And it was really fun to kind of people I haven't talked to in forever, and just to sort of reestablish connection and going forward to go, why wait for the world to shut down to even if it's somebody you might have had bad blood with, why don't everybody just make a commitment? Like right now, if you're watching this, I'm going to reach out to somebody that I haven't talked to in a long time, a good, bad relationship, and just say, hey, it's worth it. Relationships is really what it's about.
Can I add on something too?
Yeah.
This goes off of this, but it also goes off of what we were talking about of generation wise and the difference. It's something I've never mentioned, but as we're talking about it, it hit me. My parents, my mom always tells me that she tells me that when, my dad and her were in their teenage, my parents have been together since high school. They've known each other for over 30 years. It's pretty insane. But they're the best example for me, and to also tell people that when they were teenagers, when they were my age, they couldn't just FaceTime, each other and say, hey, and, haven't seen each other in 2 months. Right. But it was hard for them. You think about it, to keep their relationship. And that's why it's a rarity. And that's why their story is so amazing. But it almost seems harder for somebody nowadays to keep a relationship when it's so much easier. FaceTime, calling on the phone, cell phones. But I just don't understand it. That's why I don't understand it.
So is what you're sort of saying, you're saying you don't understand why it's harder to keep a relationship given how much ability you have to communicate. That's kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, my brother's in a long distance relationship, and he just seems to make it work.
Right.
And it's like,
but
it's not hard. You get to see the person every day. Think about my mom and dad when they were teenagers. They literally had to walk their bikes. My dad had to sneak into my mom's house. That's how you saw your loved one back then,
And, it's an interesting point because, back when, like I said, when I was a kid and we, did actually have phones, but it was the same thing, like to call a girl you liked in, high school, right? She had to be home. You had to be home. You had to get to the phone. You had to get out of the room if your parents were watching.
Parents couldn't be on the phone. Yeah.
Sometimes the parents answer the phone. So you're like, hi, Mrs. Jones. Is Heidi home? Who's calling? Ooh. You got a buffer. And then so it's interesting because I feel like maybe it's because people have so much access right now. It's easier to dismiss and it's easier to engage and disengage. You can get on a dating app and you can literally go so far with people and then you can just ghost them in 5 minutes, right? You can be in a relationship with someone, send them a text like, don't want to talk to you anymore. And that's it. You couldn't do that back then. You had to actually have physical contact to communicate. So maybe it made it both harder to do, so you had to work for it, but also harder to just dismiss. It wasn't just like everybody's there and you can throw them away or take them on within 10 seconds. You actually had to build relationships. And if you're going to break them, then you're going to end something you actually invested in.
And you have social media now where you get to have girls everywhere and guys everywhere, sending pictures and sending you messages and And that's why I hate to say it, that there's the loyalty in relationships nowadays are just, it's hard, not for me. I'm not saying for me, because that's why I haven't been in a lot of relationships, because when I am in one, I want to make sure this doesn't happen. And that's why it's awesome. I'm blessed to have my mom and dad's story to show me that even though we have all of this available, we have to use it to benefit and make the relationship stronger instead of making it weak.
Right. I would say, and Gino, jump in, but I would say, I feel like the beauty of technology is what it's allowed us to do. The downside is that we often abuse it or take it for granted or misuse it, but it's given us opportunities to actually create, in many ways, a more beautiful world if we want to. The ability
Absolutely.
to communicate with someone, right? Someone far away.
Like I said, it's a worldwide sort of connection where you can just reach out to someone, strike up a conversation. Who knows? You may make a connection, and if you do make a connection, there's nothing really stopping you from continuing that relationship over a long distance. Yeah. But that said, there will come a time y'all gonna have to get face to face. And if people can't communicate face to face, they have a difficult time communicating face to face. Yeah, I think that an older person has more of an ability to communicate person to person as opposed to online. I have a hard time communicating online, but if I can meet the person face to face, we strike a conversation. I can talk to a person. Rarely do I meet strangers. So I can have a conversation with someone that I've never met before, and we could be best of friends. But that's hard for me to do online. Right. That's really hard for me to do online.
Right.
That's why Gino's so good when he goes and talks to kids, and he does public speaking. He is the most genuine, funny, entertaining, and inspiring person when he doesn't know one person in the audience. He can make you love him in 10 seconds and make you feel like he is your best friend. Why? Because that's how Gino grew up. Right. He didn't grow up with a phone in his hand.
One of the maybe the, like, thinking about this conversation, one of the kind of the ironies of what's happened is I feel like we became a society that in some ways started to lose human contact. And we were creating ways where we could contact each other more and more without that actual human contact, Ryan, that you're talking about. And now the coronavirus has sort of said everybody has to not have human contact for a while. And maybe the ironic lesson is we learn we should value and use human contact more. And I don't mean just talking, texting on a phone, like being in physical presence with people. And when you're in that presence, really taking advantage of it, like valuing, because you're right. The presence you talk about, Gino, in a room, that's a presence you can't mimic on a camera, no matter what you do, feeling someone's actual physical presence in front of you.
But the taking someone and being in their presence and also being present to the person. See, you could be in, like, I've talked to kids who are really stuck onto their phone, and it's hard for them to give you eye contact because they're so used to responding to a phone, a cell phone, or a picture, or whatever it is. So I'm noticing that kids have a difficult time being present person to person.
Right. So interesting. So you guys, as we're getting close to wrapping up here, I just want to ask you both. Well, first of all, Bruce, can we get everyone back on screen for a sec? So you guys, thank you, by the way. This was fun. I want a chance to just talk about what you're each doing, and then kind of last thoughts on some of this stuff, because I think this is really interesting, and I would love for us to be able to, like, kind of put out there for the people listening. Like, I want people to kind of come back too and sort of say what, to each other, what they think would make a difference right now. Because one thing takeaway, I think, is if people could feel like through all of this, here's what I can do. I know a lot of people struggling with a sense of hopelessness right now, and some of it's not just their own lives. It's a world feels like a really tough place for a lot of people. And so you feel it, that, like, can give people hope. I know, Ryan, a big thing you have is about believing. You have family. You're lucky. You have an awesome family. You're close to your family. You know, you work with your family. Not everybody has that, you know? So something we can give people listening to, like, give them a little hope to hang on to, you know? It's almost like I want to start a hashtag, like, I can do this, you know? Like, and people like go, hey, you know, I can do this. Like, look, other people are finding ways to pull through and help each other pull through, you know, like that idea.
Big G, you want to go first, or you?
Well, I do a little sort of a weekly inspiration, or some call it inspiration, some would call it just knowledge that requires action, which equals wisdom.
Words of wisdom on Wednesday.
Words of wisdom on Wednesday.
Words of wisdom on Wednesday.
So if you come check me out on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, and what happens is people will send me an email and I will answer their questions. I won't answer it directly because that could lead to some sort of litigation because I gave them some advice that they took and it didn't work out for them. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll answer the question in generalities. I won't point to the person and say, do this, do that, but I will answer the question. I will address the subject that person emailed me. And oftentimes it's a lot of the same emails because people have similar problems. We're all human. So, but ultimately, I want to encourage people to do the very best that they can do and to be the very best version of themselves. And I like to spearhead that sort of generosity and just giving that sort of information so that people have the information. Oftentimes, they're reminded of the information because they already know what to do. They just need a boost. You know, they need a little help moving in that direction. And I actually enjoy spearheading those type of efforts.
I love that. Words of wisdom on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Hashtag WOWOW.
Is that what it is? Hashtag WOW?
Yep. Hashtag WOWOW.
WOWW. Whoa, wow. Whoa, wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to check that out. Okay, Ryan, you've got Ryanator. You got Ryanator on Wednesdays, but you also have
what is that? How do we both get the same day? I took your day, I guess, Gino.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. We there's plenty to go around.
Yeah. I guess it's just because it's in the middle of the week. It's kind of cool, like in the middle of the week. I don't know. And it just kind of flows. Ryanator Wednesday.
And what basically, for people who aren't your fans, what's Ryanator all about?
I'll answer Ryanator Wednesday. I'm gonna answer it with what we were talking about, the question. I feel like what I'm doing now is, and this inspiration that, you know, drives me to share daily, just because we're in this social distancing, is no different than what I was doing before. So everything that I'm sharing, it's not just because, you know, people need a little extra, you know, boost, because like Gino said, we were doing it before this all happened. It's just, it's almost been even better now that people need it, you know? So my main quote is, if I can inspire just one person, then I've accomplished my purpose. I feel like everything that I do in my life, my career, from roles to social media to music, it's all linked to inspire people. I mean, I don't do it probably for anything else besides that. I obviously enjoy it, of course, but it's to help others at the end of the day, even my family as well. And with that being said, Ryanator Wednesday, during this time, it gave me an opportunity to reflect. And I feel like that is what this quarantine, I feel, should be for everybody, is reflect. And I used this at even the first like 2-3 weeks. I was kind of getting the hang of it. And then I started to realize I was reflecting on the mistakes that I had made, maybe. And I'll tell you what that is when I tell you about Ryanator Wednesday. Mistakes, good things that maybe I have done, goals, and almost like future habits that I want to start from reading. I started reading a lot more there's so many very inspirational, successful people that read every single day. And I found myself not reading enough. And so what did I do? I picked up a book. And like I always say, every Ryanator Wednesday, I say, just start. You can't do something, you know? And that's why if I can't tell somebody, I can't, you know, say something to the world if I'm not doing it myself. And I feel like that's why people connect with it too, because I picked up a book. I'm reading a book. I'm almost done with my first book. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing it. I'm living it with everybody else. And that's what Ryanator Wednesday is, because something that I reflected on was realizing that I have a YouTube channel that I started 10 years ago. All right. I had 30 videos on the channel. 30 videos. There's the biggest YouTubers have 7 videos a week. They post every single day. I just realized that if I wanted to help others, I need to put it out there, and I'm not putting it out there enough, you know? That's why I needed to post weekly. So I basically said Ryanator Wednesday is for everybody else, and that's what I tell people. It's for you. But at the end of the day, it's my day to realize that I'm doing something for myself, something that I enjoy. And I'm just super grateful and blessed that other people reciprocate it. You know?
That's awesome.
But even if there was nobody watching my videos, I'm doing it because I personally enjoy it and realize that it's something that I needed in my life to get through this.
And I think a lot of people need to be doing that right now. I think a lot of people need to realize that the value in something can just be that you're doing it because you like it. You know, it's not, sure, we all want it to succeed. We want to make money. We want viewers. We want success. But the satisfaction of going, like, I love doing this. I love doing a live stream. I love podcasting. I love connecting to new people, having conversations. If 5 people were watching, my head's going to be like, well, I wish 1,000 were watching. But the truth is, I enjoy the experience itself. So I think the more we do that, the more it sort of, I hate to sound hippy dippy, but it kind of goes into the universe and you can feel it. You know, you can feel that somebody loves what they're doing. Just like with your music, I'm guessing, you know, a little promo for your album, right? The Ochoa Boyz R-Type album is out. You know, I'm sure you love making music with your brothers. Like, it's great if people listen to it, but you probably love doing it.
I'm so glad you said that, because I have to admit, I talked to our producer today as well. And I told him, I said, the one thing during this quarantine that I'm having a hard time with is not making music. It's the one thing. And we're writing, but we're not physically there. And people will hear, actually, it's something that's coming up on my next Ryanator Wednesday. People will find out what happened and what's coming. But this chat turned into something positive. And yeah, I'm excited to share on Ryanator Wednesday. But yes, I love making music, and that's why I'm having a hard time with it, because and I realize where it's like you said about doing your live stream. We knew that dropping our album, it wasn't going to get 10 million streams the first day, you know? But people have already in 2 months heard the album, obviously sharing it with others, and now on TikTok. TikTok is such a great platform now for our music. I got verified today, by the way, this morning.
Awesome, dude. Congratulations.
On
whatever.
TikTok.
You know what? I know you have like 500,000 people on TikTok, but I think I told you this. I went on TikTok. I started before the virus shut down, do my little videos where I'd go out and ask people kooky questions. And in a month, I got 12,000 followers, which for me, I'm pretty impressed. You know, older guy on TikTok, not funny, you know. So I'm giving myself kudos. I know it's not your 500,000, but Ryan, I'm catching up.
Hey, you are catching up. But the thing is that you posted it when you had 0.
Right.
I posted my first video. I had 10 followers. My first video I posted was only because I only had 10 followers because I have 7 people in my house. You know, I said you have to start somewhere. You have to just post. And guess what? You were just posting your videos. And my mom, I just saw my mom is in the stream right now. My mom posts 4 times a day. she does it because she enjoys it, and now other people are starting to see it. It's just like our music.
So maybe we need to just, I'm gonna put it out there. I like this idea of just start. You know, I love that thought. Like for people to take away, just start whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is you want to do. This is a great opportunity to go just start. It can be starting something you've wanted to do, starting something you've half done, but just kind of take this time to be an opportunity to go, hey, life is precious. I'm going to just start. That's my little pitch to everybody. You know, you guys.
And I'll add to that and say, you will never finish the race until you start.
Like it.
Amen, man.
Amen.
I'm writing that down, Gino, in my folder.
Yep, you will never finish the race until you start. I thought you were just going to say you'll never finish the race. And I was like, well, okay, that's kind of sad, but okay.
I had to pause for emphasis, man. That's a pause for emphasis.
The pause, the pregnant pause.
Nobody knows this actually, but I have a notes in my folder, and it's just Gino Seeger's quotes. I only have 3 people. I kid you not. 3 people. One person. Oh, not 3 people. One is like a bunch of advice that I get.
Right.
2 is our music producer, because he's like, his wisdom is just like Gino's, but separate. Gino has life experience.
Gino has his own.
Gino has life experience beyond. I mean, there's still stories and people. All everybody listening have met Gino, or know him or watch his videos. I know it.
Gino.
But I know Gino, and I've known him for 10 years now. I've heard many stories, and guess what? He has 10 times as more that I haven't heard. Gino, imagine how awesome my folder is.
Gino is going to get a lot of followers from this.
Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed.
You guys, this has been awesome. People don't know you're watching the live stream of The Activist. I'm Rob Nelson. You can follow me at Rob Nelson Live on all the socials. It's really easy. Rob Nelson, the most generic name ever, at Rob Nelson Live. Ryan Ochoa, thank you so much. You're awesome. Gino Seegers. You guys, your social handles, I think we popped them up, but Ryan, Gino, you're your name at Gino Seegers.
You can get me at Gino Seegers anywhere.
Yeah, and we just put it on the screen. And Ryan, your handle is, what's that?
I said Lucky.
Lucky, your handle is Lucky?
Gino's Lucky. You got Gino Seegers, and he got GinoSeegers.com. How lucky is that?
I thought you were saying your handle was Lucky. I was like, well, that's cocky. Okay, I'm at Lucky.
No, I'm at Ryan Ochoa on Instagram and Twitter, and One Crazy Rai on YouTube, which I've been posting. I post every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, I post a new YouTube video on One Crazy Rai on YouTube, and then I go live. Lit Nation is on TikTok. My TikTok is at Ryan Ochoa Official, and I believe I hit all the platforms. I think there's a Snapchat. The One Crazy Rai. I started Snapchat again.
And see, I just went simple. I'm just Rob Nelson Live on everything. It's just at Rob Nelson Live.
Same here.
Except I think TikTok. I think my TikTok is It's Rob Nelson, but whatever. It's at Rob Nelson, basically.
TikTok people have fun with their Chris Pratt is like Pratt, something like that.
Right. I should get more creative, right? I should be like my name backwards. You guys, this was a lot of fun. Thank you guys all for joining and watching our stream. It was fun. We got off to a rocky start, tech issues, Corona tech, but hey, it worked out great. Worked out really great. Right. Thank you guys for playing along too. I know that was a kind of a headache at the beginning, but whatever. It made it kind of an experience.
Yeah. Thank you for having us though. And
you're welcome.
Please thank Lookout. I love Lookout. I go back many years with them as well. So you guys you're in great hands, Rob. And Lookout's producing this show. And and as I said earlier in the thing, it was Yvonne who came in and was just like, it's all right, just stay calm when everything fell apart. This is going to be a fun adventure. I have no idea who's dancing in the upper right-hand corner. You guys see that?
Oh, that's Dwayne from the TV show Perfect Harmony that comes on NBC, where I play the character Dwayne, and he's a bit of a funny guy.
That was you up there, in other words.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh, there you are.
There he is. Yeah.
There it is. All right, that was cool. I wasn't sure who was dancing in the upper right-hand screen. All right, you guys, thanks. Everybody, love your feedback. again, like, follow everybody you're not following. Follow Gino if you're not following. Follow Ryan if you're not following him. Follow me at Rob Nelson Live if you're not following me. And then start this conversation. And I'm leaving it with just start. Just start. That's my thought. I'm taking away from this.
I agree.
All right, guys.
And thanks everybody for
Thank you guys
commenting as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a ton of comments.
Awesome.
Outstanding.
All right, thank you guys. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, now.
Bye, guys.
See ya.